Millions of street vendors in India will get freedom from repression, including against harassment by police and municipal authorities, as the new street vendor bill gets passed by the Lok Sabha on Friday. Initiated by the UPA government that will issue licenses to them to ensure smooth functioning of their businesses. Raju from New Delhi is one such vendor who is hopeful of getting benefits from the scheme. For the past 26 years, he has been selling kloli kulche outside a government school to earn his livelihood. He always feared that his shop might be at the receiving end of the municipal authorities and the police. The street vendor bill might enable vendors like Raju to make their ends meet, as they can continue their business without any fear of authorities or any kind of vandalism. The bill provides for security and protection of livelihood to all street vendors having a vending certificate to be issued by the town vending committee. The police and other authorities cannot remove a street vendor who has the certificate. The South Korean Cultural Heritage Administration has begun a project to restore the tomb of Queen Moonjeong, mother of Joseon dynasty's 13th king, Myeongjong. The upper part of the tomb site was damaged due to the activities of a nearby state-run shooting range. The range, established 40 years ago, was for those who participated in international competitions. Having designated the Joseon Royal Tomb as a World Heritage Site in 2009, UNESCO strongly recommended the government to restore Taeryong and its neighborhood to their original form. The shooting range, measuring 77,000 square meters, has already been removed, and the relic will be restored through the 2-year project. In the long term, the administration plans to complete the restoration by removing another shooting range nearby and the National Athletic Training Center. Japan's national and local governments are struggling with decontamination efforts in areas affected by radioactive fallout from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant 2.5 years after the accident. The national government is responsible for the removal of radiation from 11 evacuation areas in Fukushima Prefecture by the end of March 2014. Among the 11, work has only been finished in the city of Tamura. The Environment Ministry admitted on Tuesday that it cannot complete decontamination in 7 cities and towns by the deadline. They include Minamisoma City, Nami Town, Futaba Town. The ministry says that by the end of the year, it will draw up a new timetable to deal with these areas. The ministry says difficulty in obtaining residents' approval and a lack of storage facilities for contaminated soil are key factors in the delay. 100 local governments in 8 prefectures are in charge of cleaning up municipalities other than evacuation areas. Among them, Iwate, Gunma, Saitama and Chiba prefectures had cleaned up their educational facilities by the end of June. However, regarding residences, work has been finished only on about 20% of the nearly 380,000 units listed for decontamination. The Environment Ministry says the cleanup will probably take several more years. Engineering students who have designed and built their own electric cars have been putting them to the test in Japan. They have taken to the tracks to compete against traditional fuel-powered vehicles at an annual racing event. These students have brought their electric cars to the 11th Student Formula Competition in Shizuoka Prefecture to give them a good thrashing. It is the first time electric vehicles, or EVs, have taken part in the event, which this year has attracted 86 teams. They are from all over Japan, as well as others from Thailand, India, China and Indonesia. The weight of the electric vehicles taking part ranges from 280 to 380 kilograms, reaching speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour. Although they are being allowed to compete alongside their traditional fuel-powered counterparts, there's no expectation that they take the top spot. The electric cars are going up against vehicles with 600cc engines, and they are just the ones that made it. Some of the electric entrants have had to pull or fail to meet the registration deadline because of technical problems. The Shizuoka Institute of Science and Technology had the fastest electric vehicle, and even though they were forced to retire in the endurance event, they won on points. But team leader Akihiro Murata says they are hoping to do even better next time around. The runners-up was Niigata University, who won the Energy Efficiency Award with their slower and heavier car. The team spent hours building, preparing and testing their vehicles ready for the racing. The China National Tourism Administration will implement a new law banning low or zero-fee tours on October 1st. Some business groups in Macau think the measure will drive up the price of the tour fees but will also bring more high-quality tourists to the city. The new law will ban agencies from organizing unreasonably low-fee tours, bringing tourists to designated shopping malls or adding activities to itineraries to charge tourists higher fees. The Hong Kong government is extending its food assistance program from 6 to 8 weeks to help the low-income people. Many low-income earners describe the program as a lifesaver. This one says that she is struggling to pay rent, but adds that now that she doesn't have to pay for rice, she has money to buy her children medicine when they are sick. In 2009, the Social Welfare Department commissioned 5 NGOs to operate food banks. One of these organizations noted a 60% increase in the number of people resorting to food assistance in the past 2 months relative to the same period last year. NGO workers and experts blame a number of factors, including the rising housing costs, even for the poor. And experts say another problem that needs to be dealt with is the limited number of food distribution points around town. They say that this is ultimately resulting in additional costs to those who already aren't earning enough to feed themselves. Some people have to travel and to spend on public transport in order to get food bank services. To deal with this problem, the government is also planning to commission 2 more NGOs to run the food assistance program. The Hanging Gardens, not of Babylon, but Beijing. Every morning, Zhang Guijun starts his day taking care of his vegetables and plants in his rooftop garden. The 56-year-old has astonished the local community with his organic hanging gardens on the roof of his traditional courtyard home in southern Beijing. His 80 square meters of rooftop is home to some 30 varieties of vegetables and fruits, including pumpkins, tomatoes, cucumbers, sweet bell peppers, and melons. Zhang started planting vegetables in 2007 on the roof of his 2-floor courtyard home, which is 2 miles away from the Temple of Heaven in southern Beijing. He says he didn't want to plant vegetables to eat. Instead, he wanted to make the garden a place for neighbors to have fun together. Zhang is a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, and after about 3 years of testing, he developed his own fertilizer recipe based on his knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine. His organic fertilizer helps his vegetables grow, and Zhang is very proud of his chemical-free garden. Zhang quickly became a celebrity in his neighborhood after his rooftop garden had a bumper harvest, and several of his neighbors were even inspired to start their own rooftop vegetable gardens. But there aren't many residents creating gardens up to Zhang's high standards. Still, as rooftop gardening gets more popular in the city, some commercial buildings are also joining the green-fingered revolution. Hongqiao Pearl Market is one of the most famous tourist markets in southern Beijing, and the building managers are turning their rooftop into a garden. Plants and flowers are grown on the rooftop garden, which is open to tourists and customers of the market. Beijing has seen new waves of heavy pollution and unprecedented heat waves in recent years. The choking exhaust gases from 2.5 million cars are a major contributor to the worsening environment. The rooftop gardens seem to be the most effective tool to protect the environment in Beijing. A Cross-Straits Jade Exhibition opened on September 8th in East China's Jiangxi province, showcasing a diverse range of 90 pieces of jade articles from collectors in Taiwan. The exhibition is being held at the Jiangxi Provincial Museum in the capital city of Nanchang. 96 pieces of jade stones gathered by 8 famous collectors in Taiwan are headlining the event, including a set of gilt jade horse-drawn cart and a semi-annular white jade pendant. Each art piece is original in design, offering enthusiasts a glimpse of the changes in people's lives and society throughout the ages. The exhibition showcases a rich variety of jade, including jadeite, laterite, and Haitian jade. The jade are all of fine quality, and the artworks reflect exquisite craftsmanship. The exhibition will continue for a month according to its organizers. The second Eurasian Silk Road Clothing Festival opened on Saturday in the provincial capital city of Urumqi, northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. The festival provides a platform for the dress cultures of East Asia and Xinjiang to be expressed and mixed with each other. The event began with a fashion show of items created by Russian designer Sergei Voronin, whose designs highlighted the theme of the new Silk Road. The entire show, Voronin's first in China, expressed the theme of Asia. Designers from 7 countries, including Russia, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan, are set to give a total of 25 fashion shows during the 5-day clothes festival. Exhibitors from 182 clothing enterprises in Xinjiang and other parts of China have booked more than 1,000 stands in the exhibition section of the festival. Entrepreneurs from Xinjiang said the festival offers a good chance for them to promote both their products and the Xinjiang clothing industry as a whole. With the non-stop improvement of the trade environment in the region, as well as the platform offered by the Silk Road Clothes Festival, Xinjiang is working towards forging a textile processing base targeted at exporting to Middle and Western Asia and more. The high-profile giant rubber duck made its official debut on Friday last week on Yuanbo Lake in Beijing's Garden Expo Park, following weeks of eager anticipation by visitors. The rubber duck, created by Dutch artist Florentin Hoffman, is 18 meters high, taller than 16.5-meter version earlier displayed in Hong Kong. Weighing 900 kilos and measuring 21 meters in length, the duck was not completely inflated due to weather conditions. The rubber duck is able to withstand strong winds of up to 7.9 meters per second. Despite dull and overcast weather, a large number of rubber duck fans flocked to the park to see the inflatable duck, which has built to resemble a child's common bath toy. The yellow conceptual art piece already attracted many Chinese fans when it floated in Hong Kong's Victoria Harbour in May. It is expected to bob in the waters of Garden Expo September 6th through September 23rd and will leave for the Summer Palace on September 26th. The rubber duck, which has visited 14 cities around the world since 2007, is a gift to Beijing from Amsterdam.